When the League of Legends season is coming to an end, many players feel a strong pressure to keep playing ranked, even if they are already tired, tilted, or no longer enjoying the game. The client shows a timer, rewards are tied to a rank, and slowly the game stops being about learning and starts being about fear. Fear of losing LP, fear of wasting time, and fear of stopping when it feels like you are already so close. I've seen this every season, and I have felt it myself more than once. The idea of final push sounds motivating on the surface, but in reality it often creates the worst environment to play well or improve. Instead of calm thinking, players feel urgency. Instead of curiosity, they feel pressure. Instead of focusing on decisions, they focus only on results. For a short moment, this might lead to a few extra wins, but for most players it leads to frustration and habits that hurt them long after the season ends. That is why, if your goal is long-term improvement, the end of the season is usually a bad time to focus on climbing. One of the biggest reasons for this is matchmaking quality. End of the season rank does not feel like a normal rank. You often get players who have not played seriously for weeks or months and suddenly return because the season is ending. At the same time, there are more Smurfs, more boosted accounts, and more people forcing duo games. Because of this, matches become inconsistent and unpredictable. You can play well and still lose, or play badly and still win. And afterward you are not sure what actually decided the game. When this happens repeatedly, learning becomes difficult because improvement needs clear feedback. This low quality matchmaking also changes how games are decided. At the end of the season, many games are decided more by mental state than skill. Players tilt faster, give up earlier, and become emotional after small mistakes. One bad fight or one death can quickly turn into frustration, negative chat, or surrender votes. In these games, it feels like you are not only playing against the enemy team, but also against your own team emotions. When games are decided this way, it becomes harder to focus on your own performance and improve in a meaningful way. The emotional pressure of the final push makes this even worse. When LP feels extremely important, players start playing differently. They become afraid of mistakes. They stop testing limits. They hesitate in moments where confidence is required. Instead of asking what the best play is, they ask what the safest play is. This leads to passive gameplay and slower decision making. Even when these games are won, they do not feel satisfying, because the win comes from fear, not from understanding or control. Over time, this pressure creates bad habits. Players rely only on comfort champions, avoid difficult matchups, and ignore mistakes as long as the game ends in a win. The focus shifts from learning to protecting LP. These habits feel useful in the short term, but they are harmful in the long term. When the new season starts and the meta changes, these weaknesses become clear very quickly. Many players then wonder why they suddenly struggle even though they ended the previous season at a high rank. Another important thing that players often underestimate at the end of the season is how much their mindset is shaped by comparison. When everyone around you talks about rank, LP gains, and last-minute pushes, it becomes easy to feel behind. You compare yourself to friends, streamers, or people posting their final rank online. This comparison adds pressure that has nothing to do with improvement. Instead of playing to get better, you start playing to prove something. That shift is dangerous because it moves your focus away from growth and toward validation. This pressure also changes how you judge your own games. A good performance that ends in a loss suddenly feels useless. A bad performance that ends in a win feels acceptable. Over time, this reverses how progress should be measured. You stop asking whether you played well and start caring only about the result. Once effort and improvement are disconnected like this, learning slows down. You can play many games and still feel stuck because you are repeating habits instead of building understanding. Confidence is also affected in a negative way. Many players believe that climbing at the end of the season will give them confidence for the next one. In reality, confidence built only on LP is very fragile. A short losing streak early in the new season can destroy it completely. Confidence built on understanding is more stronger. When you know why you win and why you lose, you stay calm even when the results are bad. That kind of confidence does not disappear after a few unlucky games. This is why the end of the season can actually be one of the best times to improve if you change your mindset. When LP stops mattering as much, losses feels different. A loss is no longer a disaster. it becomes information. You can review games without feeling angry. You can admit mistakes without defending yourself. You can focus on one or two specific things to improve instead of worrying about the final score. This calm mental state is ideal for learning, but many players miss it because they are too focused on climbing. The end of the season is also a very good time to learn new champions. Learning new champions during a serious climb feels risky because every mistake costs LP. At the end of the season, the risk is much lower. You can try different champions, builds, and playstyles without fear. This helps you understand the game better as well. You learn what other champions want to do, when they are strong, and how they win games. That knowledge stays with you and improves your decision making later. Burnout is another major reason why forcing a final push is dangerous. Many players push themselves too hard during the last weeks of the season. They play long sessions, queue, are tilted, and continue playing even when they are tired. Over time, this creates frustration and mental exhaustion. When a new season starts, they are already burned out. Climbing feels harder and the game feels less fun. Taking a step back before the new season helps you reset and come back with energy instead of frustration. There is also the reality that smurfing and boosting increase heavily at the end of the season. This lowers game quality even more. Some games feel decided before they really begin. When this happens, often grinding becomes about patience and luck instead of improvement. Even strong players struggle to learn in this environment because performance and results are no longer connected in a clear way. Focusing on improvement instead of LP now makes the next season much easier. Players who spend this time working on fundamentals often climb faster at the start of the season. While many players are still adjusting or relearning basics, prepared players already know what they want to improve and how they want to play. Early season momentum is powerful, and it is built during the time most people waste chasing LP. Playing League for fun at the end of the season is also far more valuable than many people think. Playing for fun allows you to relax, and when you are relaxed, learning happens naturally. Playing other roles helps you understand the game from different perspectives. You begin to see when laners are strong, when they are weak, and what teammates need from you. You learn power spies that are not obvious, not only at level 6, but also items, timings, matchups, moments, and tempo changes. This type of learning happens slowly, but it is very deep. You might not notice it right away, but it builds game sense. When you return to rank with this broader understanding, your decision feels easier. You react faster because you are not afraid. You understand situations instead of guessing. This knowledge transfers across champions, roles, and seasons. There is also an important mental shift that happens when you stop forcing the final push. You stop attaching your identity to a rank. Instead of thinking, I am this rank, you start thinking, this is how I play. Rank goes up and down. Skill stays. When you focus on skill instead of LP, losses hurt less and wins feel more meaningful. In the end, the final push feels important because it is emotional. A high rank at the end of the season feels good for a short time, but that feeling fades quickly. Real improvement last much longer. Knowledge, confidence, and an understanding do not disappear when the season resets. They stay with you. If your goal is not just to peak once, but to become a better player over time, then focusing on learning, experimenting, and enjoying the game is the better choice. When the next season begins, the difference becomes clear. Players who panic at the end of the season feel frustrated again. Players who prepared feel calm and confident. Games feel clearer. Decision feels easier, and climbing happens naturally, without forcing it. That is why sometimes the best decisions at the end of the season is not to push harder, but to step back, learn, and get ready for what comes next. If you enjoyed this video and enjoyed my thought process about the end of the season climb, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, join the Discord server, and leave a comment if you found it helpful. And leave a comment even if you didn't find it helpful, and feel free to dislike it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments and on the Discord server as well. I also do jungle coaching, both free and paid, but that will return next year, because right now everyone should be chilling and focusing on improving without sweating it too hard. This season, this year was long, so chilling a little bit and not focusing only on improving and not chasing some LP or a rank which will reset anyways is more important. After all, this is a game, and the most important thing is to have fun. Until I see you in the next one. Peace.